His question is, what is the need to differentiate between the self and the mind? I'll make it a little easier for you. I'll rephrase his question into, what is the need at all to understand the real self? Because only when you go into this process does this distinction come, that the mind may not be the real self and such things. Ultimately, his question is, why must I know myself? What is the need to go within? What is the need for self-inquiry? I mean, life is going on nicely, pleasantly. There seem no hiccups. I have my set routine. I have my normal spectrum of pleasures and pains. And I'm cruising along. What is the need to find all this out? This thing called self, the mechanics of the mind. Why must I understand them at all? In other words, why must a course like this be floated at all? Because that's the very objective of this course. So it's a beautiful question that you asked, Gaurav, and we start with this. Why must I understand this? Because only in the process of understanding this do we come across this distinction, that there is a mind and that mind may not be me. Alright, let's see. How many of us, young, free men and women, are interested in leading a life of slavery? Hardly anybody, right? Who is a slave? Whom do we call a slave? A slave is someone who has no free will of his own. His actions happen due to the influence of others. That's a slave, right? Simple. That's a slave. Correct? Now let's understand what is the way in which we function. What is the way in which our mind functions? This brain, the human brain that we have, is a product of millions of years of evolution. It is nothing but this journey that it has traveled, undertaken. It is nothing but a collection of all the experiences that have happened to it in the course of this journey. It knows nothing but all that it gathered during the journey, during the past, right? It, in that sense, is nothing but a storehouse, a database of experiences, and also a program that has been told how to deal with that database. It's very mechanical in nature, very, very mechanical in nature. You don't have to ask it to do certain things. It keeps doing those things. It does not ask for your sanction or your free will. It operates on its own. Basic functions of the body, our basic reactions, and not only that, the basic way in which we perceive the world, even that is pre-programmed. We don't have a say in that. You perceive space to be a three-dimensional thing. That is not because space is three-dimensional. That is because your brain is configured to perceive a three-dimensional reality. You live your life in time. That is not because there is an independent objective truth called time, but because your brain is configured to read time. like the compiler of a computer system. It is configured to read a particular language. That's how the body operates. The brain is a part of the body. That's how the brain makes sense of the world. And the brain has been pre-programmed. The body too has been pre-programmed. That is called physical conditioning. In technical parlance, that's called physical conditioning. Right? Now in physical conditioning, surely as intelligent students, you would see there is no free will involved. There is no free will involved. The brain already knows what to do. Are you getting it? There is another conditioning called social conditioning. Physical conditioning is the hardware that you are carrying. Social conditioning is the additional and multiple layers of software that have been put upon it. So social conditioning includes all your beliefs that you have obtained since your birth, culture, tradition, language, and a lot of other things. The entire accumulation of thoughts, that is social conditioning. That is social conditioning. Wherever there is conditioning, there is no free will. And the absence of free will is nothing but slavery. Right? A very unfortunate event can take place with every human being and does take place with most of us, which is that we do not realize how deeply conditioned we are. We start identifying with our conditioning. Freedom from slavery is not at all difficult, provided you intelligently look at the processes of the mind and realize that, oh my God, I'm not acting out of free will or my own intelligence. I have just been told and programmed to act in this way. And then the moment you realize this, in that moment you are free of it. In that moment you are free of it. We don't realize it. So not to realize it is to waste life altogether. Because there is not great fun in living a slave's life. Are you getting it? This mind is two things. The conditioned part, which you could give a general name as brain. This mind is two things. The brain, which carries all your conditionings, and the intelligence. Right? The brain is thoroughly conditioned, but you are not merely the brain. There is something more to you. And when you discover that, the quality of your life entirely changes. Your day-to-day living, the kind of decisions you are making, that totally changes. There is a brilliance about it, then there is an energy about it. You are not stupid anymore then. You are not merely a machine then. Are you getting it? Hence it is important to understand how this machine functions and how we are a little more than that machine. That being little more is what makes life valuable. Otherwise you go on leading a conditioned life which has been written by, the script has been written by external forces for you. Parents, society, education, and you go on believing that I am taking those decisions without even having the sense to understand that none of that is yours really. Then you are merely a puppet. Merely a puppet. Who's just enacting a prescripted role. Whose life is entirely predictable. The beaten path, that's what he's taking. There is no fun in that. There is no energy, no vitality in that. There is no youthfulness in that. Right? We deserve a little better than that. We deserve more than that. Hence it is important to understand the difference. right?